Hey, hey, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Shaka.
Good morning.
How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How you doing, sis?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. I am excited about today's conversation.
Mm,
I actually had a client send me, she actually typed out her dream and emailed it to me this morning. So I'm excited to get to the mat and do some divination about this dream.
mhm.
Um, so I'm not really ready yet to kind of share what it was or share, what the I can't share the reading because I haven't done it yet, but it's exciting.
Mm,
It's exciting. She gave me some good news, and that is one of the things that we were working on during our experiment time
mhm.
that she asked me to work on. This was what, 2 months ago, something like that.
Okay.
It's been about 60 days of work that I've been doing, and she got a very favorable outcome yesterday. So she sent me a text to say, "Oh my God, it happened." So that was cool. I'd love to have her on the show one time where she could tell her own story rather than me try to tell it. So I'm going to try to set that up. But good stuff happening. Good stuff.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And how about you this morning? How was your yesterday?
My yesterday was good. Very busy. Still in the weeds with a lot of things that I need to get done. However, I feel good, blessed. Things are working out. Got a lot to look forward to. Um, I did. Uh, I did divine for someone briefly on Facebook. There was a
Yeah,
young lady.
that was interesting.
Yeah, there was a young lady. She just kind of, I just the post caught my eye. She said, um, "Well, I'll read it for you." She says, "Not sure if this is relative to this group, but can anyone help me interpret a dream? If not, could anyone point me in the right direction? I had multiple dreams last night involving bears. None were attacking, just kind of wandering around, right?"
Ah,
So, and I said, "What were they doing in the dream?" Because she said they weren't attacking. So I said, What were they doing in the dream?" She said, "One was climbing a tree, but he was big, almost the size of a moving van." She said, "Two were just walking by a house that I must have lived in, and one was sitting on the bank watching me and my dog play in a creek." And so, I went and spoke with my people. Had to consult my people.
mm-hmm.
My people basically said that this is what I wrote for her. I said, "You aspire to create a future free from mistreatment or where you are protected." I said, "This is evident in the way that you use spiritual healing and your work with spiritual guides to confront trickery and create happiness. Spiritual initiation, to come later, is also a goal, but it is also a means by which you will interpret the future. Organize your fears about group success because it will be the unification of these ideas that leads to spiritual empowerment that you seek, the spiritual empowerment that you seek. Lastly, the lesson of partnership and your relationship with your child. I saw the son, but I just said child, are guiding your karma. Make these a strength, and blessings will flow. If it remains a weakness, a curse will follow." Now, I didn't want it to sound like I was, telling her future or something like that. So that's why I put the child in there. I took out abuse. It's her business. I don't want to put, make people see it a certain way either.
Right.
Uh, but she wrote me back like maybe 3 hours later. She says, "Thank you. This actually makes sense as I'm in a relationship that is extremely stressful most of the time.
Mm.
Also, I'm in the process of trying to get my affairs in order so that I can find a house for my son and I."
Wow.
Yeah. So I just
Good.
welcome, boom, you know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
hmm
That is excellent. That's excellent, Shaka.
Yeah.
The the we know that as we're doing work and we're the people that are, oh, we got a viewer. Hey, good
Yeah.
morning. Good morning.
Oh,
Yes, he's so funny. It happens when we put the link out, right?
yeah.
But it's interesting because now unsolicited, the people that I am doing work for are sending me their dreams for interpretation.
Mm.
So I'm excited to take this one that I have to the mat. Um, I'm going to go ahead and read it to you,
Mhm.
and we'll I'll work on this a little bit later to share what the whatever comes up when I take it to the mat later.
Mhm.
But the dream says, "Oh my God, I woke up this morning not sure about how to interpret this dream. I dreamt about being in this woman's house that I dated 10 to 15 years ago. Her sister was cleaning this small doll that she told me was a family member or an ancestor. I went to SU, cast rocks that were not cowrie shells. It was three small rocks and one piece that I can't describe. All of a sudden, one large rock slid across the floor, and Eshu and the doll came to life. I was amazed and ran to get my godmother. As we walked to the house, someone threw what appeared to be the rock with holes where the mouth and nose and eyes would be. She told me I couldn't keep it. A carving of what some called Jesus was on the ground, and uh, a man buried under uh, was dead or rubble. I get okay. Was buried under the rubble, and he was snoring.
Okay.
When I brought my godmother to the place, the Eshu did not react to her, and it would not speak or move objects. This dream felt so real. So
Mhm.
there's, I see a lot of components here already. Um, things are already coming to me, and yeah. So I'm excited to take that to the mat. There's a lot there, and with this interdimensional uh, eyesight that we're now having,
Mhm.
um, that is really really exciting. So I want to talk about that. So we get people, ourselves having dreams, or we get people that are now letting us know that they're having dreams for interpretation. And for anybody who's viewing, whether this as an archive or live, again, good morning.
Mhm.
We want to say, if you have either of our emails and or connected with us on Facebook, or if you're in my group, Sacred Warrior Indigenous Divining, uh, and you want a dream interpreted, please, do what this person did, send it, and I will take it to the mat. And Shaka, I know that you will do the same,
Mhm.
right? We do have, again, we have 5 divinations that we need to do live on a Google Hangout. You will get the benefit of having the recorded reading for
Yeah.
your own benefit. But just know that this will be something that will be used in our course curriculum with Chief. We need to turn in so that he can review how our readings are developing. Well, all that being said, that was a mouthful. um, all that being said, now, so I feel like the the vision that we are working with is so already so far reaching, and honestly we haven't even
Scratch the surface. Huh?
we haven't scratched the surface, haven't even got halfway through. Well, we're about halfway through, I guess, the prep work,
Mhm.
uh and just the studying that we're doing that has taken the mat. It's almost taken us off the mat, um so that how I'm seeing the things that are in front of me now, like I have 2 trees in front of me and a house that I'm looking at, and my relationship with these items are now so very different.
Mhm.
You know, the relationship between what I see on the mat, how I see it on the mat, and my understanding that I'm actually, is it safe to say, the mat has come to life. I guess that's the way to say it. And so that's how I'm seeing this interdimensional vision. I mean, it's like, it's depths, landscapes, it's like deep and also long. So it's like I see this, I see up and down. I also see horizontal now. Um, yeah, that's what's coming to me right now. I mean, how about you?
Yeah. As far as the interdimensional uh, you know uh, way of seeing things goes, I mean, it's clear now that there's more going on than you actually, than you thought was going on in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that you're in a constant sort of divination. You're in a constant way of
That's it.
interpreting your environment,
Mm-hmm.
interpreting the future.
Mm-hmm.
Some people look at it as karma. The things that you do today are going to lead to, a certain harvest tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's on a moment to moment basis. The things you say to people, the people that show up in your life, whether or not you gave to the man who was begging at the light, or all of these are choices, and all of them will lead to certain specific outcomes. And so when you understand the interdimensional context that we live in, or that we're beginning to be able to place ourselves in, you now understand math much better. You understand how things add up and become effects. You see, so
Mm.
uh, you really start to understand the meaning of sacrifice,
Oh.
even more so than you might have before. You understand, you just understand placement so much better, and timing, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
because even time itself has an interdimensional meaning or context. As we're doing all of these other things,
Right.
time involved, not just space and the spacing of what's coming, but why did this happen here or at this moment?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. From
Why
this direction.
exactly from this direction?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what's beginning to unfold itself.
It's interesting because when I'm on the mat now, it intellectually, I got, when we started this process, intellectually, I understood that, okay, it's like I'm looking at, I know you deal in astrology as well.
Hmm.
That was not a place I ever went before, so I never had any training beyond, I know I'm a Pisces. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really have any training beyond that. However, I've always been fascinated with constellations, with the sky, with, it's just always fascinating to me. And so I think about that adage that says, as above, so below. And what I understand is like what I saw as being as the sky has actually now become what is under my feet on the mat, and everything that's on it is a constellation. And just like the sky, like you can take a picture, an astronomer can take a snapshot of the placement of the sky in that moment. I was born at 3:44 a.m. So on the day I was born, in the place I was born, on that moment that I was born, a snapshot happened.
Hmm.
However, the sky was moving as soon as I was born. So
Hmm.
things began to change in my relationship with these constellations, shift and change. And I'm at the center of it, just as you are at the center of it, just as the person who's watching this right now, our viewer, is at the center of the sky, their sky.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that as a diviner, what we're being taught to do is watch the constellations, like take a snapshot, boom, everything is on the mat. I'm able to see, okay, where is this in relationship to this, and draw the correlations. And also understand, like you said, it's a moment by moment choice. And because of that, things, just as soon as the snapshot was taken, boom, things move.
Oh yeah.
Because as soon as I speak, as soon as I see, and I speak what I see to the person I'm reading for, they then make choices.
Yep.
And so we could do a cast again, and things would change because they've decided something, and the influence of the mind on our environment and on the minds, my mind, your mind, all the millions of minds that exist behind what we see, move things.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is this whole interplay, this dance that is constantly happening, communication constantly happening, and our sky is constantly moving. It is amazing. It is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. And this is, I used to tell my wife that Michael Jordan and LeBron James, some of these athletes, Cristiano Ronaldo, who's a soccer player, these are some of the greatest mathematicians on the face of the planet.
Mm.
Okay, and the reason for that is because their ability to analyze the situation and synthesize the situation interdimensionally, because no basketball, you're never approached the same way by a defender or a team, or every night is different. Your fatigue level is different, et cetera, et cetera. You may not have practiced your jump shot enough. Da, da, da. All of these things are factors, right? However, how is it that this person for a series of years can consistently outwit a person who's an equal athlete?
Right.
Who
It's because they can read the floor.
they can read the floor. They can read the floor. And there's something to be said for when you talk about understanding flow, understanding the game, right? If you want to look at it on that sort of micro level, there's something to be said for that when you compare that with a magician, or you compare that with someone who is a native doctor who understands nature and things of these nature, things of that nature. These people are just, they have much more command over that particular environment or that game, that floor, within those lines or those boundaries.
Right.
Same way, except that we, upon continue to work on ourselves, continue to bathe, continue to add things, to the closet or to the room, we all of a sudden begin to expand ourselves to a point where the floor, the basketball court, and life gets bigger.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, if you get big enough, you playing basketball with ants.
And you get big enough, that floor becomes, it was a generic floor before, i.e. our mat right now may be a generic mat, but the more we relate to it, the more we go onto it, practice our divination, it becomes, you hear them say all the time in basketball, this is my house.
Right.
Right? In Ifa, their Ile, that Babalao, that's their Ile, their house. And so what happens is that shrine room, that mat becomes your house. And you, like you said, you've expanded so big that the people that are on it at one time, maybe we were on here playing basketball, meet at the court, we're all playing and it's equal. But if I practice and hone my skills and do the things you said, graft and bathe and all these things, I become so large that I actually encapsulate my energy surrounds the mat. I'm sure it will always enlarge. Maybe it'll always enlarge bigger than us.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like by collecting medicine and becoming a larger being on the planet and a more beneficial presence on the planet, that becomes your wheelhouse, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see, I can hear, I can feel, I can sense before a move is made, kind of thing.
Exactly.
That precognition, which is what, you know, the Michael Jordans and the LeBrons and all that, that's what they have really, is a precognition. They
That's
know
right.
where to go even a split second before their opponent goes there, so they win.
Right.
You know, they see the opening that nobody else sees, and as a diviner, it feels like that's the process we're in. I mean, we're not there yet,
Mm-hmm.
but it feels like that's where we're going, and it is exhilarating.
Mm-hmm.
It is exhilarating
Yeah.
and a little frightening.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's an exciting time, really. It really is. Hopefully, you know, I've already seen some changes already, just recently. So, and like you said, we're only scratching the surface at this point.
Yeah. Oh, did I? No, I didn't share. I can't share this yet. I have
Okay.
another win from a client, but she asked me not to share it quite yet. So not on air. So I won't do that yet. But probably next week or so, I will be able to share this other piece of good news that another client got that I'm working with. So that's exciting too.
It's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, my friend. Well, that was another great conversation. Again, if you have any questions, you know, please feel free to, you know, send either one of us a message via Facebook. Shaka, they can reach you where?
They can reach me on Facebook and on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, ShakaGuru. Same thing on Facebook, ShakaGuru. Look me up, and I'd love to talk with folks and make friends, and keep in touch.
Good, good. And same thing for me. You can reach me on Facebook, Subira Folame. I accept friends uh, there. So go to my personal page if you like. Um, and if you want information specific to divination, you can reach me. You can leave a message for me at subiradivines.com, subiradivines.com. And I would love to chat with you.
Mm.
So again, we're looking for 5 people each. That's a total of 10. If you want to be one of those, we are doing 5 free readings each that need to be recorded here on a Google Hangout. We can still make sure to respect your privacy and anonymity, so don't worry about that. Um, just reach out if you want to participate and help us along our learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we will be back tomorrow, 9-ish, and we will post a link before we go live. And we appreciate you joining us, whether it's before or before, if it's during or after the broadcast. We appreciate it, and spread the link around to people you know that might be interested in hearing this type of conversation.
Exactly.
All right, folks. Be well, and we will catch you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.